There's always somebody there for you. Is whether if there's PWC, your teachers, and anybody that like teachers that you trust. And I like that we are such a small small school that like you know everybody so that you are able to just have bonds and relationships and know everything that's going on.
With everyone that I've met there, there's like a lot of people that I think that they might like be a part of my life even after Origins.
The reason I transferred in was because like I knew like how supportive like the teachers were here, other than my old school. Because like my old school, it was like you could really like do whatever you want, and like there was never like a consequence you would face because they just like wouldn't really care. But like here, it's like the teachers are very caring about every decision that you usually make.
Since we're small, we have more of that communication with our faculty and our teachers, and that is more helpful to us because that builds connections between the students and the teachers.
Roundtables and capstones are pretty much the same thing, except capstone is like more the bigger version of roundtable, or that's how I like to see it. You just sit there with, they may or may not be random teachers, but with Origins it's like a really small school, so you'll probably know everybody. You sit there and you talk to them about how you were when you first came, when you first took the class, and then how it went, how you are now when you like finished everything. Advisory program, and how we had the small center of space to like talk about pretty much anything from like academics to like our personal lives. And I feel like that was a really vulnerable and great space that we had, and not a lot of students that I know from other schools really could talk about that. And every time I would mention advisory, it would just be something like, what's advisory? But through Origins, it was like one of the spaces that I really felt like I could talk about anything.
The support from all the teachers, like no matter like what's going on in the school, you could always have a teacher's support through it all. So the sports that I played in Origins was bowling, wrestling, and baseball. And I think um, through those three sports, I had the same coach for two of them, but definitely in bowling, I learned to like appreciate my teammates a lot more and start to get an understanding of like a team sport in general. Because you wouldn't think that bowling would really be a team sport because it's like an individual score, but in order to actually win a game, your whole team has to score a certain amount of points. And then for wrestling, last year was the first year that I ever did wrestling, and I only did it because Mr. Coco, kept asking me to do it. So I wanted to try it out, and I ended up really enjoying it and enjoying everybody that I was surrounded with.
Honor Society, Glamour Girls, Yearbook Club,
Student Council, the Green Team, art. You have like social clubs, social media clubs.
Most interesting thing was this program that Ms. Valentine, the guidance counselor, really introduced me to, which was like a research program and making a change in the community, like not making it, identifying a solution to the community that I was in. And it was like a whole research program, and it really prepared me for college level work, because part of it was writing a research paper, but then also part of it was like kind of finding and like brainstorming different solutions to the problems that we see in our community.
It kind of feels like another family at Origins, and you know, the teachers are like your parents, and the like classmates are like your brothers and sisters or whatever you want to say.
Our school is extremely diverse. We have people from all over the world in many different countries. And I like that in our school, there's like no issues when it comes to that. Like everybody is still friends and everybody's together and there's no like discrimination.
Let's say very energetic and friendly.
The two classrooms that come to mind would be Mr. McKeon's and then Miss B-Dub's and Mr. Coco's because so Miss BW, she had the rocking chair in the room. So, and she most of the time she would let, if she wasn't sitting on it, she would let like the students sit on it. And in Mr. McKeon's room, he had like this couch and this other thing. So, most of the time, you could sit there. You were the first ones there, and it was just very comfortable. And if you were having a bad day, you could always go to one of them, and very welcoming.
The class is usually calm, and it makes it easier for the teacher not only to teach but to help individual kids each and every time.
Teachers are always very helpful. They always have something that they want to contribute. They always, like if you ask, you can get feedback for your assignment, like before you want to turn it in so that you can get the grade that you want.
For me personally, I think I have a pretty good relationship with the teachers and the adults, and I feel like I could always go to them if I need anything.
They're very welcoming, and when it was my first day last year, I think the first teacher that was welcoming was Mr. Coco, actually. And he was the first one that I met, and he just made me feel so comfortable inside of the school now.
It shouldn't weird you out that a teacher that you've never met before knows who you are, because that's how small Origins is. Most teachers know everybody, and especially if it comes to their grade, maybe the higher grades might not know the different grades above. A lot of teachers know who you are, and I remember coming. I think it was the first couple of days of when I came to Origins, and I remember Mr. Banks calling me by my last name, and I was like, how does he know who I am? So I feel like it's a really close relationship, and everybody pretty much knows who you are, and you should be familiar with most of the people there.
Yeah, so most of the time, we have an hour in each class. So the teachers were able to get done basically everything that we had to get done. And sometimes we would have to write an essay here and there or do a project, but that was really it.
We didn't get a lot of homework. It was really just if you didn't finish the work that you were supposed to in class, then you had to bring it home in order to finish it and just make sure that it was done by the next day. So basically, art and sustainability is you get to learn about the environment and how art can play such a big role in it, from pretty much anything from pictures to drawings. And with the plants, it's when we would plant, we would try to grow healthy things, so fruits and vegetables, and then we would try to relate that to everything going on with our artwork, because then we would try to address real world problems.
The most interesting class that I took was the Mandarin, for elective, because I am from different places, but I don't know anything about them. So seeing other people's cultures was really cool.
I think for the academics part, the most interesting thing I've taken was Russian. And it was really just a chance to learn another language that I wasn't familiar with, and have the whole academic support with it, because I was always interested on it on my own. And then when the class was offered to me as a junior, it was really an opportunity for me to put my interest, learn about my interests.
like the trips and like our activities that we do, like multicultural night and things where all of the student faculty get together and all the dances, and the trips are just fun. Like the trips, like we had really fun trips over the time.
I really liked like after, like not after school, but like when we would like go to bowling and like the girls team versus the guys team, and having the teachers there also, because and it was just fun like having that like a smaller group to get closer with.
I think my best memory was probably just like meeting all of the kids and the staff, but also like creating a bond with everybody that made it feel like every day that I came to school, I was like with like my other family.